Hello everyone, what is going on? I haven't seen you guys like this in about 2 weeks. It is the weekly ritual time again. First one in a couple of weeks. It is Monday, October 20th of 2014. Yes, I am standing for this one, just because I feel like it. I have, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty pumped up to do this particular weekly ritual because I'm very excited about what we've got coming up. On the channel in the next few weeks, next several weeks, through the end of October and then into November. I'm really looking forward to the games that we've got coming up toward the end of the year. I'm hyped up, and so I wanted to stand up and just, you know, convey that excitement to you guys the best I could. So, last week was it was a strange week for me. Schedule-wise, it was different and kind of screwed me up because I had Monday and Tuesday of last week off. I had a little mini fall break, much needed 4-day weekend from school, and so I wound up spending Monday and Tuesday in Baton Rouge with my girlfriend, and obviously so not home and able to make videos. So no ritual then, and then when I got back from the break, it was boom, Wednesday, exam at 8 a.m. Thursday, get up early and go back out on rotations. Friday, another exam at 8 a.m. This morning, Monday, exam at 8 a.m. So it has been, onslaught of exams, just nonstop here for the past several weeks. And so, with all of that stuff going on last week, by the time that I was really able to sit down and make a video, it was too late in the week anyway, and it made no sense. I might as well have just waited till this week and covered the past two. So that's what I'm doing, and that's why you haven't heard from me in 2 weeks in this style of video, okay? So, let's talk about it. 2 weeks ago, Brandon and I finished our playthrough of Destiny. We completed, obviously, the main campaign, all the story missions. We did all the strike missions that were available to us during the main game. I think in total we spent about 17 hours playing the game, and we managed to get the game wrapped up in about a month's time, which, considering my schedule, considering that we had to find particular days when my and his schedules matched up to where we had free time to play the game, I'm actually really impressed that we were able to put that much time into the game and get it done within a month's time. It worked out really, really well. The game didn't drag on. It didn't drag into other content, and so I was really happy and pleased with how we were able to move through the game. So we finished the playthrough of Destiny, and all of that is uploaded now, and I also finished it off with my review of the game, okay? The review is brutally honest, as I always am in my reviews, and basically just gave my feelings on what Destiny is as a game. So if you are still not sure about Destiny, you're thinking about maybe getting it for Christmas, or you want my personal opinion on the game, even if you've already played it or made up your mind, be sure to go check out the Voodoo's Verdict of Destiny. It is in the Voodoo's Verdict playlist in alphabetical order. So if you're interested, go check that out. A ton of people already have, so if you're among those who have not, I definitely recommend it, alright? So we finished up with Destiny. Now, this past week, we started new content. Now, albeit I haven't played a whole bunch of it, but I did start it. And the game was a new game that was released this past week called The Evil Within. Before I talk about The Evil Within, I do want to make one point. I had mentioned in the ritual 2 weeks ago my plans post-Destiny were basically to return Destiny to GameStop to trade it in along with my old iPhone that is obsolete now because I upgraded to a new phone, and I was going to see how much money I got from that, and I was interested in possibly picking up the game Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. Well, I did go turn in the phone and the game. I got almost $100 of in-store credit, and wouldn't you know it, I picked up Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. I did pick up the game. Now, here's the situation. I'm not doing a filmed playthrough of this game, alright? I apologize to those who are disappointed by that, who may have wanted to see me do a playthrough of Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor. But this is one of those games, and I do it every now and then. Sometimes I just want to have a game that I can play and relax when I play it, and I don't have to do a playthrough of it. I've mentioned this a lot of times before, and anyone who's tried to do a film playthrough understands that it is a lot of effort to set up to do a playthrough, and there's a lot of factors that have to be taken into consideration when you do a playthrough, and it does take extra work and extra effort that you wouldn't normally do to just sit down and play a game. And sometimes it can be draining, and a lot of times you just want to pick up a game, and when you have an hour or two, you just want to sit down, pop in a game, and play it, and you don't want to have to worry about making sure the videos look good and timing videos and doing interesting commentary and trying not to suck at the game. Sometimes you just want a game to play and relax with. That's what Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor is for me. Alright, so this is a game that I am progressively going through on my own off camera for fun. Alright, Brandon also picked up the game, and a lot of times what we'll do is we'll just get on PS4, we'll get on voice chat and just talk, and we'll play the game separately and just kind of relax and have a good time with it. When I beat Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, I will review it. Alright, so if you're interested in a review of the game or my thoughts on Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, I will review the game in time for the holidays after I have completed it off camera. Okay? Also, if I was trying to do a film playthrough of this game right now, it would be a total disaster, considering I would have to try to do it with another game, and historically for me, balancing two games in a playthrough has never worked for me. I just don't have the time. I barely have the time to do one game, let alone try to do two at once. Alright? So I'm progressing through this game slowly, and I will review it when I've beaten it. I don't have a timetable for that. I have no clue when I'm going to beat Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, but I wanted to let you know that I had the game, and I will review it once I've beaten it, okay? On camera, we're playing The Evil Within, which is what I mentioned. Now, I've only done one session of the game so far, and I only played it for just over an hour. It was 3 videos, which are uploaded now. You know, I'm just going to be totally honest with you guys about The Evil Within. I'm going to warn you that this game has the potential to be a playthrough that's going to drag. And when I say that, I mean this might be one of those games for me that I play that the playthrough is going to be spread out over a long period of time. It's probably not a game that I'm going to sit down and do marathons of and beat the game relatively quickly. Reason for that being that, full disclosure, The Evil Within, that style of game, the survival horror, pretty much the whole game based on stealth and limited resources, it's not my cup of tea in a game, alright? It just never has been. Not saying that that style of game is bad. I'm not saying The Evil Within is bad. I've only played an hour of it. I'm just saying it's not my favorite genre of game. And it's not a game, really, it's not a style of game that I can sit down and marathon, because I just don't have it in me. I'm an impatient gamer. Alright, I just don't have it in me to sit there and do the stealth and do the sneaking around and the slow-paced gameplay for 4 to 5 hours straight. I just can't do it. I get bored, I get frustrated, and when that happens I start failing bad at the stealth, and then it just builds up and it's just bad. So that happened a lot with me with The Last of Us when I tried to marathon that game because it was dragging on. By, you know, the hour 2, 3, 4, I just was raging, pissed at the game, not happy with it because I was frustrated and failing. I don't want that to be the case with The Evil Within. I want to be fair to the game, alright? So, The Evil Within is the only game I'm making content of right now for the next couple of weeks. The next game on our schedule is November the 4th, which is Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I will be honest with you, I am sort of looking forward to the game. And I know that, you know, oh, well, you know, you've said in your previous Call of Duty reviews, you've always talked about how overrated and all. That's all true. But the bottom line is with Call of Duty is you know that you're at least going to have some fun playing the game. The single-player stories are usually entertaining. They're never anything that's groundbreaking. They're never going to win a game or best campaign of the year, alright, at least in the past few years. Maybe Modern Warfare 1 or 2, but certainly not in the past few years. But they're generally fun and enjoyable to play. They're not complicated to play. They're sit down and just shoot and have a good time. And the multiplayer, it is what it is. Of course, everyone's got their issues with it, but it's also simple in what it does and yet entertaining. And sometimes that style of game is fun to break up some of the other games that are coming out. Alright, so I am looking forward to Advanced Warfare. I don't have expectations it's going to be amazing. I have expectations it'll be a solid game that'll probably be more of what we've seen, but it'll be fun and it'll deliver when it needs to, and I'll enjoy the game, and it's not something I have to put 20 hours into, you know what I mean? So, looking forward to that. Now, again, The Evil Within, I don't know how long this is going to go, because if this game drags into November and we start having other releases that come out, then the game could really start to drag along as I pick up and play the other releases that are probably more my style of game. So in November alone, we've got Advanced Warfare on the 4th, you've got Assassin's Creed Unity, I don't remember the date of Unity, but you've got Far Cry 4 on the 18th of November. So here's my plan right now. I actually think just for the month of November, I'm going to bump up my GameFly subscription to have 2 games out at one time. Alright, because these games are coming out sort of close together, I want to make sure I can get 2 of them at once. Alright? And the plan right now is to actually purchase Far Cry 4. I really loved Far Cry 3. Didn't do a playthrough of it at the time, because Far Cry 3 at that time was like what Shadow of Mordor is right now, just a relaxation game. Never had a clue it would be as good as it was. I love the game. So I have hype and anticipation for Far Cry 4, and I definitely want to do a playthrough just in case it's as good as 3. So I think I'm going to buy that game. So we've got we've got The Evil Within, Advanced Warfare, Assassin's Creed Unity, and Far Cry 4. Those are the 4 games I have left this year that I'm doing a playthrough of on YouTube, and we're just going to have to find a balance of that. Alright? So we will address it as the weeks go and we figure out where we are with The Evil Within and other games. I've heard The Evil Within is around 15 hours of gameplay, alright? I have 1 down, 14 to go, so we will see. Good news is, one of the reasons I'm excited is I finally am having a prolonged break from all these exams. There has literally been for me week after week after week of 2 and 3 exams per week. And that will drain you faster than anything else is trying to remember all this information for all these different classes. Almost all of our exams are taken at 8 o'clock in the morning, which means I have to wake up here around 6:30 a.m. to get ready and get down there. I'm done for the whole day at that point because I just can't wake up at that early and be awake because I can't go to sleep early enough for that to, to materialize. Finally, I'm getting a break. I have a quiz tomorrow, and then it's like 3 straight weeks where I think I have 1 exam, which shouldn't even be a hard one, in that 3-week span. It's going to be glorious. I'm going to just be able to just go to class. When I get home during the evenings, I will be able to relax and not have to study, and I can do gameplay. So there will be plenty of nights coming up for me to play The Evil Within. Now again, how much of the content I get done depends on how much I'm enjoying the game and how long I can sit there and do that sort of stealth survival gameplay without getting bored or frustrated. I can tell you that this week I've got plenty of time to do it during the weekdays. I don't know right now what's going on necessarily this weekend. Weekends are always sort of up in the air for me because of the distance between my girlfriend and I. It's always sort of a work in progress whether or not I will be home or what days we'll be visiting or whatever, so I can't give you anything definitive on this weekend, but be sure to look up on Twitter for that information. I'm going to do a time check. Alright, we are good on time. Did want to make this announcement. I know for Destiny, I postponed streaming on Twitch for Destiny because I needed the LAN connection to run the online on my PS4. Originally when I tried to stream Destiny with the LAN cable on my PC and using my PS4 on Wi-Fi, the internet kept dropping and it kept kicking me out of the game. And I certainly can't stream with the PC on Wi-Fi, so I had to use the LAN. Right now I only have the ability to have 1 LAN cable up here. I probably will be very soon looking into buying a LAN switch, which basically you plug 1 LAN port in and then there's like 4 jacks, and then you can basically plug in a bunch of LAN cords to it so that I can have the opportunity to have 2 LAN cords, one to go to my PC to stream and one to go to my console for internet, because without that, all future cooperative games I won't be able to stream, which is not fun. So if I get a LAN switch, I'll be able to have LAN going to both my PC and my PS4 so that we can stream. But the point is that The Evil Within clearly is a single player game, and so I don't have that issue. So I am now back to streaming on Twitch. I streamed The Evil Within the first session I played, and the rest of the time when I am playing The Evil Within, it will be streamed on Twitch. So I'm back on Twitch. If you want to come out and you're interested in seeing the playthrough, you're interested in seeing me live stream, check Twitter for when I go live on my playthroughs, because I'll always put up a tweet about what time I'm going to start streaming, and then when I do start streaming, Twitch automatically sends a tweet out on Twitter that says I have officially started streaming with a link. So if you're interested in that, check during the afternoons and evenings every day this week on my Twitter for information about streams, okay? And then of course, as I always do, when I'm done streaming for the day, I will then upload the footage to my YouTube page, alright? I still need to create a playlist for The Evil Within. I'll be doing that soon so that it's all in one place for easy access. And that's pretty much it, guys. This week I'm also going to try to put out that Voodoo's Thoughts I was talking about now that Destiny is done and the Destiny review is complete. I'm going to put out a Voodoo's Thoughts, which I can finally tell you sort of the premise of it. I'm going to be talking about the state of AAA games right now. I'm going to be talking mostly about how these games that have been coming out over the past couple of years, really since 2011, I feel that AAA gaming has really declined, and all these games that have all these hype about them just never live up to the hype, and they always fall short, and not just short, but way short. They're not even like, well, it's a pretty good game, it's just not nearly as good as I said it was. We're talking like these games are falling flat on their face because of the total lack of effort that's being put into them. And that's sort of going to be the premise of my Voodoo's Thoughts. It should be a good one. I haven't done a Thoughts video in a while, so it should be a lot of fun. I'm going to try to work on that and put it out this week for you guys, so be on the lookout for that as well. And yeah, like I said, just stay tuned to my Twitter for gameplay information when I will be streaming, links to my Twitch, and also information on when The Evil Within will be uploading this week. And we'll just have to wait and see how much of the content I get done. Hopefully, I can bring myself to do a good amount of content, and if the stars align, I might be able to beat the game before we move into Advanced Warfare, but I wouldn't count on that. But miracles do happen, so just stay posted. Alright, so thank you guys so much for sticking with us. We've got some really interesting games that we're going to be doing playthroughs of to finish off 2014 till we move into next year, which promises to be a very intriguing year with all of these big-time next-gen games being slated to come out next year. It's going to be a really fascinating year for gaming. Could be really good if the developers do their jobs right. But we still have a good amount of games to get through at the end of this year before we move on. We've got a survival horror game in The Evil Within. We have, of course, a shoot everything first-person military shooter in Call of Duty, and then we've got an open-world assassin game in Assassin's Creed, and an open-world game that should be pretty cool in Far Cry 4. So I'm excited. I hope that you guys are too about the content, and yeah, I will see you guys this week on stream and on YouTube with my continuing playthrough of The Evil Within, as well as hopefully my Voodoo's Thoughts on where I think AAA gaming is right now in late 2014. Alright, so thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Voodoo51292. I hope to see you guys watching The Evil Within this week. And yeah, we're just going to keep rolling and having a good time. So thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you later this week. Bye for now.